Welcome back to Red Kelly's here in beautiful Lenore City. I got a little mock-up of what we're going to do here. We're going to hide this whole staircase, this stoop, as they say, this porch, some garlic steps. Garlic's not quite ready to pick yet, but I'll show you what I'm going to do here. We've removed the flagstone that was on top of this thing, and I think the flagstone and this perimeter was added either in the 60s or the 80s. But that centerpiece there, that centerpiece of concrete, that's the original. That's 1920, and that is a solid piece of concrete. Now, they may have used bricks and stuff inside, but it's not supported by any framing. It goes from there to the ground. So we're not jackhammering that out and hauling it away. We're going to cover it up. And that's my little mock-up board up there. That's where the decking will end up when we cut it. We'll have some framing here. I'll show you later. We have our little step stringer. I think they're $12 at the big box store. And we'll set the bottom of that on a couple of these cap blocks after we smooth the dirt and put a little gravel. We have plenty of gravel here now. That's some old mortar from the flagstone. But I want to show you a little detail before we start framing here. Now under the door we have quite a gap. You see under here, there's a big gap going into the house through here. Now I watched the rain last couple days. It doesn't really drain that way. It puddles out here. But I don't like that big opening into the house. There's wood in there, and the water getting in there is never a good thing. Now this is a H grade porch, but we'd like to get up to C in technique or modern building techniques. So I cut a piece of flashing, and we'll put that in there before we bury this. The what we call floor joist or deck joist will be coming off the building. I may run a rimmer joist up in there, but they basically are going to come out. Let's see, pausing. So the deck joists, 2x4 deck joists, are coming out this way, and they'll end up on a rim joist supported by 4x4s onto this concrete. No more steps over here. So this is about how big the deck's going to be. And put the little cap block under here. Once we get it ready, I have a support piece Tapcon into the concrete that we can nail off of. And I really don't want to remove this perimeter, whatever that thing is. It's a big chunk of concrete. I just want to cover and get it done. I might pull it off if it'll all come off, because we want these joists to come out, and the way it's set up, if they sit right on the concrete there, come out to my rim joist, the decking on there comes right where I want it, which is just under the threshold. Don't want it even with the threshold, because water could travel in, even though this is at a slope. And come down about an 1/8 inch. I think also these deck boards are pretty wet, so I may, when I lay them out, I may butt them right next to each other and screw them. And as they dry, they'll form their own cracks to let the water through. Sometimes with a a big gap between your boards, then leaves and debris get stuck in there. I like to keep it as thick as a nail, you know, a 16 penny nail. And that metal flashing, this metal flashing, I'll just run some goop, roofing tar, sealant, roofing, this stuff. Roofer's Choice is about as cheap as you can get. And we're going to use that like a glue. We're going to put it underneath the flashing, some of it up underneath, and just jam it up in there, and the 2x4s will anchor it. We don't need to put any screws in it or anything. But it'll give me, I could be sleep good at night knowing there's a little bit of barrier between the outside world and the wood of the cottage. All right, back to work. See ya.